In this interview, TelepathicGrunt shares with us his mod, the Bumblezone, his advice for new modders, and his opinions on Forge and Fabric drama. Thank you for your kindness for watching this video, and please subscribe if you enjoyed it. What exactly is the Bumblezone?
The Bumblezone is an interdimensional space that connects all beehives and bee nests. People love the idea of a dimension dedicated to bees and want to see it.
Are you a fan of bees? Is that something you're interested in personally?
No, I'm not super crazy for bees, but I am very into Minecraft World Gen, and doing a bee dimension was just a really fun challenge. In fact, I did some interesting hacks to make the dimension look the way it does. If you look closely, you'll notice the top half of the terrain mirrors the bottom half of the terrain, which was a dirty trick I'd done to counter the original behavior of Minecraft where terrain gets smaller the higher you go. Once the general shape of the dimension was done, I moved on to making a few custom blocks like the porous honeycomb blocks, the sugar water blocks, and my favorite, the honeycomb brood blocks that grows a larva over time and spawns bees. I did add caves and small rooms called bee dungeons that has a ton of brood blocks and spider-infested bee dungeons which are filled with spider spawners. If you try to steal honey from the dimensions by collecting the honey blocks or get honey from certain blocks, you get a special effect called the Wrath of the Hive. So not only do all nearby bees become angry at you and get buffs, the fog in the dimension also turns more red. But if you feed bees or brood blocks honey, you get the Protection of the Hide effect instead. And that makes bees swarm and sting anyone that attacks you.
Speaking of bee attacks, TG, we have to talk about the buzzing. Has anyone mentioned the buzzing to you?
The changes Mojang did to biomes in 1.16 made it super easy to add ambient sounds to the biome, so I just took the buzzing sound that already exists in the base game and just shoved it into Dimension. But I pretty soon found out it's really loud, and Mojang forgot to give us a way to control the volume of the ambient sound. So I might need to find a new sound clip of bees and replace the default buzzing if people are finding it to be too loud, because the bees are very busy and noisy.
Are there any features that people want added to the Bumblezone?
Well, everyone wants a queen, but it's going to be pretty tough to do. Making a new entity is something I've never done before, so I'd have to learn new modeling, animation, rendering, mob AI, all that sort of stuff all at once. So perhaps in the future, when I finish updating and getting all my mods stable, and I have a bunch of free time, I can start to create a queen bee mob and add new biomes and blocks and structures to accommodate it. That'd be really awesome. One funny request I did get was someone asking me to add bee girls, like girls dressed as bees. That was a hard no bee girls.
What aspects of creating this mod did you find to be the most difficult or challenging?
Caves, definitely caves. I tried for a more hexagon-shaped cave, but I failed to get the shape. And even with a friend who's a math wizard, we couldn't get the shape that I was hoping for. So as of right now, the caves are done through a really hacky workaround that produces okay cave shapes, but I still want to revisit it and make it much cleaner and way more optimized. Early on when making my dimension, I put bees in the wrong spawn category, and I ended up spawning thousands of bees a second, and my laptop kind of just died. It was insane.
Do you have any advice for someone who's just starting out as a Minecraft modder?
Trust me, knowing how to code in Java and some programming concepts right off the bat will make modding so much easier. I've seen so many people struggle and just give up because they don't know how to program and tried to learn it by modding, which is like jumping into the deep ocean and trying to learn how to swim. Modding's a lot of trial and error and figuring things out on your own. With Forge, their documentation site's pretty poor, but Fabrics is a lot better. In either case, though, I'd encourage people to join modding discords to ask questions for help. The only major one I would have newcomers steer clear of is the official Forge Discord, as the members there don't respond too positively to people trying to learn. The Minecraft modding development Discord, official Fabric Discord, and the World Gen Discord, they're all ones that I'm in, and I feel like they're nice to new people.
You said you've seen many new modders give up. Did you ever find yourself at a point where you were considering giving up or wondered if this was worth it?
To be honest, this this week's had some pretty nasty breaking changes and bug from Forge that's caused me a bunch of problems. So I kind of toyed with the idea of just giving up on Forge and sticking with Fabric. But I got through that with the help of a friend, and I just hope Forge doesn't do any more breaking changes out of nowhere, but that's kind of wishful thinking.
It sounds like you have a lot of frustration regarding Forge. Can you explain to me more about your concerns?
A lot of the issues boil down to the leadership of Forge. While there's many great people working for Forge, there's a few that are just rude and unhelpful. But the top guy of Forge, Lex, is especially nasty. If you enter the Forge Discord and mention Fabric or core modding in passing, you get yelled at or kicked, even if you're just asking for help. And if you don't know much programming, it gets even worse. So the leaders at Forge do sometimes make decisions that go against modders, such as making unannounced breaking changes in the middle of a stable Forge version, or shutting down issues that really need to be fixed for Forge. Fabric itself isn't without its fair share of problems too. It takes much longer to get anything approved or added to Fabric due to constant nitpicking. So the modding community is never going to have a time when there's no drama, but looking past that, there's still tons of really helpful, nice people in the community.
The Bumblezone has been downloaded nearly 800,000 times on CurseForge. How does it feel to be a successful and popular Minecraft modder?
It's awesome that so many people are downloading and having fun with my mods. That's one of the big motivating factors for me as a modder. My goal is always going to be making something that people love to play, have awesome experiences, and forming fun memories of their time in the mods.